Well, I kind of think it's afternoon, so I'm going to wish everybody a happy afternoon on a beautiful Sunday out here in Fernie. It's well... Hey, babes? How cold is it?
Just taking a little chat. It is -10.
Okay, -10, and it's actually more frigid than anything. So, as an update for my 2005 Kona-Cinder Cone here, I graduated to the mullet. Like, before I had 26-inch forks up here, and I thought it was kind of cool. But those 95 Judy forks sucked. They weren't very good. So I'm like, you know what? I just picked this up, and it's 20, as you can see, is it 27.5? But anyway, that's not, it's a whole lot of fun to ride. A couple of things I've learned along the way since building this mountain bike is these two-piece cranks here, I think they're called, where you take this one off and this one slides off. Well, I learned a valuable lesson. I didn't put the original one on. This is why it's chrome here, or stainless steel. And what happened was I didn't put this on. I just figured, I would tighten these up as good as by specs, and I'd be fine. I looked at the other side, thought nothing of it. Weight reduction. Rule number 1: put these caps on. Okay. So anyway, I didn't put this on, so I'm riding around for about 2 weeks, and then sure enough, I'm heading out to Hosmer there, and my crank just falls off. I fall off my bike, and yeah, I eat shit. And I'm not going very fast. But again, when you lose a crank, you lose it bad. So I suggest when you guys put these on, remember to put in the crank bolt. This piece right here, put it in. And then, okay, not a problem. So I go down to the bike shop. I went to 3 different bike shops that day. Surprisingly, because the chain was on, it didn't, the whole thing didn't come off. So A for effort. Okay, I'm learning here. So then again, I go down to the bike shop, and I call around. I was like, hey, this is what happened. I was like, hey, come in. We might have an extra piece for you in one of the spare boxes. Thank you. Cha-ching. So the first store I went into, he rummaged through all of his parts bins, all of his parts boxes, etc. Because as a bike shop, they have a lot of miscellaneous parts, so don't sell them short. So then, the second bike shop I went to, they had this one here. I was like, yes, I can be on my way. So I go in there, I explain the situation. They're like, yeah, no problem, we got it right here. So I put it in, tighten it up, cost me $15. Okay, so anyway, another week goes by, me not thinking much about it. And yeah, so sure enough, again, about a week later, I think it was, me and my wife were riding our bikes around, and I looked down and I was like, son of a bitch, I'm missing this piece again. Second one. First one I didn't even put on, but the second one I put on and I lost it. I'm like thinking, oh, I didn't put anti-seize or anti-grip or whatever that stuff is. So yeah, anyway, so I call back the same shop I got the first one. I'm like, hey, yeah, I lost it. Do you guys have another one? They're like, you're lucky because we only have one left. So I went down again, and sure enough, they put the anti-seize on it, or the thread locker. That's what it was. They put a thread locker on it. I tightened it up. I torqued these down, and then I torqued this down. Boom, good. So that I learned a valuable lesson there. Thread locker on these, always. Okay, if you don't put thread locker on anything else, put it right here. Then second thing I learned is, you're wondering why I have 2 tires out here. Okay, now turns out, this is the rim I was going to put on this shock, but turns out this is an E13 rim, and this is just I'm not even too sure. I thought there was a sticker on here. Maybe. Oh no, well, I don't know. It's kind of like an app. I'm not even too sure. I think it's a factory rim, or I don't know. It's nothing fancy, as you can see. So, rule number 2. Check your brakes, or check your hubs, because this E13 is too small for this rock shock. So now I have to get an adapter for this this through axle here. I was on the E13 site, and it turns out you can get the adapter kits for this, so go from here to here, not a problem. Which brings me into, so that's lesson number 2 I learned, because I was gonna put this one here on here, and I was like, cool, I am set, my bike is somewhat done. So, and then that's the second rule. Check your hubs, your distance. I'm doing this because I tried it yesterday. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, okay, no, it'll still work. I just want the brake pad to match. I just wanted the brake pad on to match everything else, and okay, I would have been fine with that, except I was really excited about this. This is a much nicer rim. It's much lighter, by the way. I'm not talking about by pounds, by grams. Like, it is such a lighter rim, all in all. And then yeah. So that's rule number 2. Check your hubs. Rule number 3. Check your discs. Not all discs will work. Reason I know that is, I was like, okay, I couldn't put the rim on, so at least switch brakes over, brake rotors. Okay, this is a much bigger one. This is a 200 plus. I can't remember. I can't really see it. Maybe, yeah. This is a 180 rim, 180 rotor, and this is a 200 rotor. Okay, not a problem. I basically just switched it over to go with a color scheme of the bike. Red and black, perfect. But it turns out not all rotors will work. This is a learning curve, and even though these rotors say mountain bike or BMX or road bike, etc., not all rotors will work. Mainly speaking, I think these ones are for rigid tubes. I'm pretty sure the ridges are they might be a little bit different. Otherwise, this is a really shitty design here. Basically, what happens is I tried putting this on, okay, but it doesn't fit because of the size difference. Like this right here would have been fine, except you can see there's kind of a difference here. Right here, there's kind of a difference. So, yeah. So that's rule number 3. So basically, yeah, and that's basically the long and short of it. I'm so stoked. Never ends. It's kind of like when you're doing up a vehicle, you got a Toyota, you got a Nissan, you got Chevys, etc. They're not all parts are interchangeable, and that's the long and short of it. Well, I've been learning. Like, the only thing I had. Oh, and then the other important rule is this guy right here. If you buy a used bike, like I got this up in Edmonton, rear derailleur hanger. If you're having problems shifting, even though you set your chain, replace this one here, your rear derailleur hanger. Not everyone will work. You got to go on to a certain site and they'll tell you just type in your bike, what year, make, and model of your bike, and then you'll probably have to replace this if your chain doesn't go. That's it. Other thing I gotta do is replace the rear derailleur hanger and replace the rear cog here. As you can see, it's kind of chewed up in the bottom here, and it doesn't really want to shift all that much. But yeah, that's the long and short of it. Yeah, because eventually I do want to put this into a rear disc as well. So yeah, I'm just hoping. Yeah, although the other thing I have to admit though, probably my favorite thing I've done since that I've done to this bike, the chain protector, that little black thing right there. Yeah, it's not inner tube. I used a product called Magic Wrap, and it's a universal product where you can put it on propane lines, water lines, hockey stick grips. You could, like, I know for gravel bikes, I've been watching a lot of videos where when they put the tape on, they're trying to finish up here. But anyway, so yeah, so that's probably my favorite part is this right here. And yeah, so that's the update. But the coolest thing is I did the mullet, graduated to a mullet. All right, take care.